So I just spoke with Blake Neff. Well, not just spoke with Blake Neff. It was last night. We were in a Twitter space and it was very interesting. So we're going to have a pregame before the actual trial starts. The trial starts around, I think, 1 o'clock. So we're going to be on here and hang out. And I think it's going to take a couple hours for us to speak on this. So everybody come on in and drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. And like I said a second ago, I just spoke with Blake Neff last night. Shout out to Allie. Allie told me that they were on a space and I came in there. They brought me up on stage and we all had the opportunity to ask questions. All right. So I need everybody in the chat to let me know if you guys can hear this, because if not, I'll do it in a different way. Okay. So let's see. So let me know if you guys can hear this right here. Okay. Tell me if you can hear this. Let me know if you can hear the space. Say yes or no. Let me know if you can hear the space. Okay, so they're going back and forth about some things. They're talking about the actual trial, right? And then Blake Neff pops in, and then they end up calling me in. So we're gonna just listen and just hang out. All right. Share this video because this is breaking news. I need to put breaking news. So this is breaking news. So everybody share this video with everybody you know. All right. So let's get it. Wait, somebody said they don't hear anything. Oh, so you don't hear it. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, so I'll just do this. All right, so thank you guys for letting me know. So I'll do it this way. And the woman that started the space, her name is Louisiana Girl. So shout out to Louisiana Girl for having the space up. This is her channel, right? I mean her ex right here. So shout out to Louisiana Girl and shout out to Alley Top Files for inviting me to Louisiana Girl's show. So here we go. So let me know if you can hear this now.
Yeah, totally. Hey, Gary, I think the bigger question that they're trying to get at is what I'm calling now Scandis gate, like the whole fact that the flash card versus SD card terminology was used.
All right. Can you hear me? I mean, can you hear them? So you say yes or no in the chat. Can you hear them? Yes or no?
And I think that's confused a lot of people. And that's what they're trying to really get at about the video is like, was it a F flash card or was it an SD card? And you know, I posted something on your timeline with a little the SD card reader as a USB flash thumb drive. Like it's ridiculous. Like they were even having this conversation because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what media was presented.
So I'm gonna look around to see when Blake Neff came in. All right, so let's see if I gotta go a little fast. I mean, go a little.
You're not having high enough quality of camera. Well, the best quality of camera with all the rates per second that mattered were directly behind his head. They were not obtained by law enforcement that day. Okay. And then so
okay, I think he's in a space right here. So let me back up a little bit. Let's see.
Your cell phone was not taken by police. Would you state that that was sufficient?
Start processing it, or you have to give a crime scene about a crime scene.
Where the court system is so far behind on the technology side.
I think this is it. All right, so let's just listen through. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at.
That if you zoom in and that zoom in fills in pixels, that is a substantial manipulation of the evidence. You can't present that to a jury under the rules of evidence, right? So like they're going to go through that process.
It depends on where you're at, right? Because they do allow a lot of those zoomed enhancements, right? That we would agree is pretty standard for digital zoomed, you know, application stuff. It's understandable.
Well, you know who else is going to forensically examine all of those, and that they have the same software and technology to see if there was anything that was manipulated.
All right, so Blake Neff is about to come in now,
and they're going to. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on and everything else right there. And this is somewhere. Is that part of the crime scene? So, I mean, just from a factual standpoint, we have the Constitution.
Someone, if you were to pass away, if you were to be assassinated, and then your cell phone was not taken by police, would you state that that was sufficient level of securing the crime scene? All the rates per second
that day,
the FBI, but that's why we're
down. They brought, pretty sure, I have a hard time believing that that information wasn't passed that day. I mean, it could have been weeks later. I don't know.
Don't hear Blake Neff yet, so just hang out because I'm just going to play it.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that there was something wrong with that.
Oh, so this is Gary Not So Tactical right here. So this is the guy that turned on everybody, Gary Tactical, whatever the hell his name is.
I'm stating that it was not sufficient securing of the scene, in my opinion. And I feel like if something, God forbid, were to happen to you, you would want to hide.
And in my opinion, with Gary Not So Tactical coming into her space, and then out of nowhere, Blake Neff comes in here, there's some type of orchestrated something that Turning Point USA is trying to do. Okay, so that is because Gary Not So Tactical was in there before I got in there, so I'm like, oh shit, he's in there too. So there's some type of thing Turning Point USA is deciding to do.
Higher level of care for yourself.
Sure,
I would.
I'm just glad that there's a constitutionality issue. There's a constitutionality issue there, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't seize your personal property without a warrant.
No.
They're not going to be able to get a warrant on a crime scene that day, right? They can exclude people from the crime scene, but they can't take your property.
Yeah.
Like they can prevent you from leaving and things like that.
Yeah, but it was TPUSA's property.
It doesn't.
What do you
it was
mean?
their property.
It
They
wouldn't be
took their-
taking their property? Oh, because they need to keep it?
Yeah,
Are
they
you
took their
kidding
personal
me?
property.
That's
And again, if you're on X, make sure to follow Louisiana Girl. Her name is Tara. Louisiana Girl. Go follow her on X and follow me on X. It's I'm Mr. Let Go 45, and follow Allie Top Files on X also.
ridiculous.
to prevent people
That's
from
crazy.
Hold on. I believe that copies of all that stuff was given to law enforcement that day. And if
We're not going to yell.
And if I see something
not-
different than that, I'm fine. I'm open to it, and we can have that further discussion. But I don't. From the eyewitness testimony that I remember, I was told that all that information was disseminated to law enforcement that day.
Yeah, Gary, the issue that there's the conflating is Andrew Corvette's statement about it being given to the FBI or the ATF and when that was given versus when the Orem Police Department or the UVU Police Department actually obtained it. So that they obtained the physical copies in May, even though it had already been given to the FBI, ATF, months in advance, like on a digital format. It was sent both email.
I understood it, Bronson, that he gave it to. Sorry, Louisiana Girl.
No, you're fine.
Stop interrupting.
No,
I
I know.
understood it
And look,
that
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
I'd actually probably want you to get that shit in writing.
All right, so here we go.
Regardless of whether what you theorize regarding the kill mechanism or if he was shot or whatever, it's why would they not want you to see more visual stuff of him on campus? And it's because they don't want you watching his insane anomalous behavior because he looks intoxicated. He's walking with a strange gait. He's wearing sunglasses like he's high, and it's because I think he was MK Ultra. JK, it's just that simple.
Maybe, I don't know, but hold on.
I wear sunglasses every day.
This is not a trial. This is the preliminary hearing. At these hearings, they present just enough evidence to get to the probable cause. The reason why they do that is he should have just waived the preliminary himself in, but that works against them because.
All right, so I'm still looking for where Blake is. I just heard
if he was an innocent.
Is that what you're implying? Because day one was humiliating, dude. They brought up footage. I mean, the fact that we're
that's not
Sounds like a real crime, or do you just watch CSI? Like, no, in real life, we don't have an.
I don't
HD
watch
camera.
cable. No one watches cable. I think that they should be able to zoom in on every pore on
Let's
that kid's
talk about the
skin with
high
the amount of high
resolution
resolution photos or
and
video
videos.
capabilities they had.
Have you actually been around like a real crime, or do you just watch CSI? Like, no, in real life, we don't have an.
I don't
HD
watch
camera.
cable. No one watches cable.
All right, so that's Blake Neff right here. I just found him. So this is Blake Neff.
I think that's your problem. I think you're being infiltrated.
Okay, everyone, hang on, time out.
Life,
Okay, time out. Everyone,
we
time out.
don't have a 4K camera of everything ever.
time out.
They actually have lower resolution cameras
Okay,
of things.
Oh yeah, that's what bro, you've never obviously seen anything. I don't know. Sorry, that was rude.
Look, even
I
if
got
the
passionate. I got
surveillance
fired up.
footage,
No, it's
even
okay.
if the
Listen.
surveillance cameras are 4K, that's over a 360 degrees, or whatever they are, or at least 270. So that's not a 4K image. Just like if you have a 360 camera and it says it's 4K, you're getting like 1080p at best at those, and then it's variable shutter speed. It's completely automatic. Those are not good. I mean, those are not like high dollar systems. I don't even know how old they are, and we don't know what the resolution of those things are. But
My high school camera had you could
Right.
zoom in on a ladybug on a blade of grass from 500 yards
that wasn't your
away.
high school camera. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You might have had better high school cameras than that. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't prove anything. The question is why was Tyler Robinson there 3.5 hours away?
All right, so ask your questions in the chat, and I'll read your questions. They're saying that Tyler Robinson may have been MK'd. Yeah, I don't want to say the word, but they're saying Tyler Robinson may have been MK'd blank.
Why was his car there? Why did he clearly get out of his car? We can see the person that gets out of the car. We track. They're going to have his movements tracked from point A to point B. And to sit here and say, well, we can't.
And to the new people who just came in, make sure to go share this video to your group chats, because everybody has a Charlie Kirk group chat. So share this video in your Charlie Kirk group chat. You know we all got Charlie Kirk group chats. Drop it in your group chat right now.
Can't see who's on the roof. No, but we've seen where Tyler is. We've tracked him the entire time. We see that it's him to get on the roof.
Dude, it's so easy to put a phone on someone and say that it's someone's
I'm not talking about a phone. I'm talking about
the
tracking
metadata associated for us to say
That's not what I
exactly where
said.
he was. That was not
That's-
a portion of the conversation. Sorry. I
Okay,
guess.
so wait, hold on. Can you name an example, like in a murder case, where like they did that, or they framed them by putting metadata on their phone illegally to frame a random person?
I'm
who
not saying
I
putting
guess
the metadata
also-
illegally on the phone, Blake. I'm stating that it would be an easy thing to plant, right? I don't need a proof in
What do you
order
mean
for it.
Couldn't they actually catch that? Like, how many people need to be in on this happening?
Can I ask
I don't
Blakey
think,
from
sure.
another Blakey? This Blakey wants to talk to that Blakey. Can this Blakey do that real quick? Hey man, just curious. Have you seen my?
Why does Blake act like this? I think Blake is like a child. Just ask your damn question, bro. Like, what is this?
My Judas Harpole video, and I'm curious what you think of it.
I have never heard of this video, and I have no idea who you are.
If I send it to you, will you watch it?
Probably not. I mean,
That's
Judas
fair.
Harpole. I mean, I know Brian Harpole, and I don't think he was a Judas, so I think that sounds like a pretty dumb video.
He's not squeezing something underneath his arm.
He's not. You're going for like coded messages on their arms now, like.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say, and when I came into the chat, you guys are easily going to be able to see that I changed the way the questions are being asked. These guys don't know how to ask questions. You don't turn around and say, so he wasn't squeezing something under, like, just ask the man questions. Stop trying to push your own narrative on another person. And you'll see how this goes down once I come in there. Because at the end of the day, my goal was to just make the man feel comfortable and just have a conversation with him and stop just being so argumentative with the guy. He's still a person, and Blake Neff didn't kill nobody. So he's not the enemy at this particular point.
No, not coded messages, like an actual squeeze, like a squeeze, like he
Blake
squeezes.
Neff, let me get you up to speed. Blake Bednarz is kind of the biggest proponent of the exploding mic theory, and he believes that there's a device underneath. Pendant. We switched to pendant back in like December. It was a mic. We moved on to pendant, but he believes that Brian.
That shows growth.
He believes that Brian Harpole is squeezing the device underneath his.
Good morning, everybody. Say good morning. Good morning, Jeannie. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Sorry, I did not say good morning. Where are my manners? So good morning to everybody. I usually go live in the afternoon. So everybody, good morning. Say good morning back. Say good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're talking about an X space that I was in last night to the people who just came in, and we all are having conversations with Blake Neff. I'm not in the space yet. I don't know when I come in, but I come in a minute. But everybody say good morning to each other, and we're talking about Blake Neff being in the space answering questions.
Arm to set off the exploding ended.
Okay, why would you believe that when it's like extremely obvious that Charlie was shot by a bullet?
Is it?
Bullet?
Yes.
Is it?
Hey,
Yes, it
bonus,
is.
I was there. I was there. So since I was there, I know that
Did you see it?
extremely loud
You didn't
crack
see the bullet,
happened in front
bro.
of me, which was facing out towards the crowd. So
He was shot by a bullet. What do you mean? Talking about I was there. Like you seen the bullet. You didn't see nothing. You ran away like a girl. Shut up.
the giant
Hey, Blake.
sound.
So you
Blake,
know
Blakey, I will. Can I offer you this?
No.
I will donate $10,000
Oh my
to
God.
Turning Point, whichever Turning Point organization that you want, or I'll do 15,000. Okay, if you will agree to do a 1 hour show where you just sit and watch me present something, would you do that?
First of all, like I'd actually probably want you to get that shit in writing before I would even consider it.
That's
Like,
fine.
real writing. Like get a lawyer to draft that out. Then maybe I'd think about it. 15,000 is a lot.
Okay. 15,000's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, you guys lie all the time. So like,
No, I'm just gonna show you video.
you're gonna show me video.
Yeah. Will you do it? Or I'll send it to you. Deal? And I'll stop posting the ambiguously gay duo of you and Andrew. I promise.
Blake, I think what he's
What?
saying is before he would take
What
you
in the
seriously
world?
at all, he would want to see something in writing by a lawyer official saying that you're going to donate $15,000.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
That,
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
And then I think from that point, he has a decision to make.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Where is the SUV? Do you know where it is?
The SUV that like Charlie was in?
That would be the one I'm referring to, yes.
I have no idea. I don't even know.
Why
If they probably rented it.
But it was auctioned off, correct?
I've heard.
All right, so this is Alley Top Files talking. And for the new people, this X space is ran by Louisiana girl, and we're going to jump into space today around 7 or 8 p.m. Okay, so if you're on X, follow Louisiana girl, and we all are doing I'm doing a space with her around 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. So make sure to follow me on X, Mr. Lego 45, Louisiana girl on X, and also Alley Top Files on X.
People talk about that. It's possible. I have no idea.
When you got out of the car, what was the string that you were holding?
Charlotte. Sorry. So I talked to the person who gave the pictures to Candace. His name is Mike. So the employee that was cleaning said it was auctioned. It came from California to Utah, back to California. Is that correct? Or you don't know?
No idea. I didn't book the car.
She's not on the security team.
So you don't. Okay. I'm just asking a question.
Diligent, just come in. I'm sorry,
I'm
Allie.
just asking a question.
No, you're
to
good.
see if he knows, because it's a part of the crime scene. So
He just said he doesn't.
Okay. So I'm just asking, is that okay?
I mean, probably, because generally what you'll find with things that are involved in a crime scene, especially something large, is the police officers will photograph it, they will document it, and then once they've done that, you don't need to keep the entire SUV in cold storage for 3 years. Like that's what you do.
So what about what about Erica's necklace or Charlie's necklace? How did that?
No idea. I suspect they didn't feel any need to keep that necklace because the theory that it was used as an exploding microphone or whatever, or an exploding necklace, I will be frank, is really stupid.
No one believes that actually, literally, but it is one of the most significant gaps in the case, and I'm posing this to everybody, is the chemical composition of the necklace. Is it silver or is it stainless steel? And that does matter. Yeah, call me crazy.
Hey, Kara, can I jump in here?
Have you ever been advised by a physician to seek treatment for delusions or other
Blake,
I have a question. Do you know why or if the FBI ever examined Charlie Kirk's phone, or did it go straight to Erica?
I can't speak to that.
You can't speak to that? Why? I really seriously doubt that you don't know the answer to that question.
I don't own Charlie's phone. I did not assess it for the FBI.
But if it didn't, would you think that was a problem?
Let's not dogpile him.
What does like actually no? Like what would them assessing
the first thing they do in a homicide case is take the victim's phone and the suspect's phone. It's the very first thing they do to see if there had been prior threats or prior engagement between the two.
Well,
right? This is standard operating procedure. So why would Erica Kirk have his phone and not the FBI when there's a murder case involved?
Why would she
especially when there were
his phone?
Especially when there were credible threats against his life in the weeks leading up to his assassination.
Well, perhaps that they searched Tyler Robinson's phone and didn't find anything. I don't know. It's not my job.
Can I jump in here, Tara?
Doesn't make.
Yeah, just jump in whenever. Just make sure, like, you guys don't cut each
Yeah,
other.
we don't need to dogpile him. It's okay.
Can I apologize to Blake Neff?
Miss-
Sorry, I karate chopped you with my voice.
Yeah, just make sure everybody has their own
Miss-
space. You know what I mean?
Mr. Neff, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you extending your time to us to speak to us. I wanted to ask you about the stuff that you do know about. Can I do that?
I guess I may or may not know it.
Sure. I just want to ask you about what happened on the day. So when you arrived at UVU, what happened?
I arrived at UVU shortly before the event. I came in that day with Charlie.
Everybody, make sure to share this video with everybody you know that is into this Charlie Kirk stuff. We all have Charlie Kirk group chats. Drop this link into your Charlie Kirk group chats. Let everybody hear this.
He had an event that he was speaking at, some sort of like small business association, something like that. It was a small event. He went and spoke at that. I didn't actually go to that. I was like, we were doing the show, and I think I was like listening in on the show when we were putting up the episode, something like that, I think is what I was doing. Whatever it was, we had 2 SUVs, and I was in one of them, and I was just kind of chilling in that SUV while he gave the speech.
And somebody asked me, are we doing the court hearing live stream? Yes, that starts, I think, at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So right after this show, we're going to go into that stream and then hang out for the rest of the day.
And then we drove up to the event. Throughout this, I was only ever in the other SUV. So, there were 2 of them. I wasn't in the one Charlie was in.
And everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
And then we got to the event probably, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes before Charlie went out. And so I was in the space by the tent, kind of behind the cordon. So where we had all the Turning Point people. And Charlie started taking questions. I was kind of pacing around behind the tent for a little bit, just on the phone. I mean, I'd been to these events before, so I usually didn't pay ultra close attention to everything Charlie was saying.
What is your role at these events?
What do you mean?
Do you have responsibilities there, or?
Let me think. So usually not during the event itself. So sometimes I was helping Charlie prep before. This is our first one of the season, and so we were like nervous about stuff that might pop up. So I had prepped with him the night before on potential tough topics. I prepped with him on the flight down. That was kind of the main reason I was there, I think, besides it just being the opening one, so more people would sometimes show up at that.
What was the topic that you prepped him with the night before?
I prepped him on a variety of things. We talked about faith topics. We actually did prep, like, if you got any weird questions on just like Christian doctrine, because it's a Mormon campus. We prepped about Israel stuff. We prepped about if he got asked why he wouldn't debate Nick Fuentes. Those are the main ones I remember.
Were you in the I'm sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
So Charlie comes out, then what happens?
Charlie comes out, he starts answering questions. I remember maybe the first question, if not, it was a very early one, was asking him, like, it was like kind of an extended back and forth about Mormonism versus Protestantism. That went for a while. I want to say like 10 minutes or so. And then either the next question or the one after it was, of course, starts asking about the transgender shootings. At that point, I'd moved sort of towards the front and to the left of where Charlie was speaking. So that's why I'm like on some of the videos of what happened. I believe I was just like looking at my phone at that time. And then I heard a very loud crack, like a really loud
Before we get
crack.
to that, can I ask you, the audio stuff that was going on, there was a lot of coordination going on in the minutes before the shot. Do you know anything about that?
Coordination of what sort?
Yeah,
Meaning a lot of
there
people
was.
were talking to each other. There seemed to maybe be a technical issue. Do you know anything about that?
Charlie was saying, I can't
Not that I
hear.
know of.
Okay, thank you. And then the shot comes out. What are you thinking as you hear the shot go out?
The very loud crack. I mean, it was just very abrupt, and so, like I said, it sounded like a really loud, like firework is what I would say. And it was in front of me, so I snapped my head up and I looked straight in front of me. Like I kind of thought it came from the crowd initially, so I was like looking in the crowd. I even remember, like in the moment, thinking like, "Oh,
Weren't you behind?
What's that?
Didn't you say you were behind the tent?
No, I was pacing behind the tent during the Mormonism question, and then I kind of moved out to the left of where Charlie was, left facing outward. So it'd be to his right if you were.
Yeah, I know where it was. Yep.
And that's where I was when the shot went off. I'd say probably like 20, 25 feet to Charlie's left. And I hear the crack. I look straight up, and I don't like see anything. And so then I look to my right and I see Charlie. Well, you can probably imagine what I saw, and I pretty quickly realized he'd been shot. And then I initially, like I said, I thought it came from the crowd. So what I initially thought the moment it happened was I thought that since the guy was asking about transgender shooters, my initial thought was that the guy asking the question had done something like, how many transgender shooters have there been? And then he like pulls out a handgun and goes, one more, and like shoots Charlie, is what I kind of thought had happened. Because like I said, I wasn't paying ultra close attention, so I didn't hear like.
Did it sound? I've interviewed probably half a dozen students that were in the crowd in various locations that day. It's recorded. Like I recorded all of these interviews at UVU, and actually all of them described it as more of a firecracker or firework sound as opposed to a loud gunshot. Would you agree with that perception?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not actually a regular rifle shooter, so I don't know what.
Weren't you in the service?
What's that?
Weren't you in the service? Or am I mistaken?
No, people just make stuff up because they push a bunch of deranged.
That's why I asked. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no,
Hey, Blake, I have a respectful, just super simple question. I feel like is pretty paramount as well. Who was driving? Do you know who was driving the Charlie's SUV?
I don't remember.
His name was Chris.
It was probably just either. Honestly,
How do
I
you
can't
not
remember.
know?
I feel like there was usually some security guy who drove it, but I don't know who it was that day.
Was it a security guy named Chris by chance?
I don't know.
Christopher?
I genuinely don't know.
Also,
as the shot goes out,
your count of that hearing that noise was like very oddly specific.
If we can just break this up so like other people can ask questions a little bit too, right? Instead of like having a whole biography of what happened all at once. I was curious.
Right.
You said that you heard the gunshot. Did you make a phone call? Did you call 911?
I didn't call 911. I actually remember having that thought, and then having the thought that would be pretty pointless because there were a trillion people there, including actual police officers. In fact, when I fled out the back, I passed by a police officer who was like kind of guarding the back entrance. And I remember going by him, and he was confused. He didn't know what had happened. And I remember saying to him something like, I think I said shooter to him, or like.
Do you think the whole team had that same thought? Because did anybody call 911?
I have no idea. I don't think 911 response time was a particularly big concern in that event. I heard sirens basically immediately.
So somebody gets shot and nobody calls 911. Not one person in the team.
I have no idea. I'm saying I didn't call 911.
So in my opinion, what's going on with Blake Neff, and I'm in the room right now, so I'm coming up and I'm about to start talking in a second. Blake Neff is acting like he doesn't know anything. Oh, I don't know. And this is natural because he doesn't want to say anything wrong, or he doesn't want to, spill the beans, I would say, because I think Blake Neff knows everything that happened. And I think, well, I'll stay there. But he just knows not to say certain things. So he's just acting dumb. I don't know, so that's what's kind of like happening right now. I think I'm about to start speaking in a second. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Hold on, let me do this real quick.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other. These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
We know nobody.
I just want to hear what he has to say about it. I know what we know, but I want to hear his position. He's saying he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know.
I don't. First responders
I find
were
that
there.
astonishing. I see people calling.
He's lying. Like, people just sound so slow. Like, it's astonishing that you don't know. He's acting like he doesn't know. Like, come on, y'all. And again, this space is Louisiana Girl on X. Follow Louisiana Girl on X. Follow Mr. Let Go 45 on X. Put a 45 behind my name. And follow Alley Top Files on X.
911 over very trivial things. Okay. So for someone to get shot publicly and for no one to call 911 seems insane.
The first person I spoke to within 5 seconds of this happening was a police officer who was at the scene. So I kind of would like to ask you, what value add you think would come from me at that point calling 911 when I have told a police officer at the scene what has just happened?
Okay.
Because you can call in an ambulance, you can report the incident that occurred. There's a lot of reasons why you alert dispatch.
And okay,
as to
I've got a question.
There's cops there, though. There's cops there, right?
So remember 9/11?
Yeah, but there wasn't an ambulance there.
It wasn't an ambulance.
But that's not Blake's fault.
Remember 9/11? Like, did you see the plane fly into the building on 9/11?
No, Blake.
Well, a lot of people did. And do you think all of them were like derelict to their duty that they didn't call 911 after they saw the plane slam into the building on TV?
Well, are you talking about the people who were around or the ones who saw it on TV?
No, I mean the people who saw.
What does that have to do with anything? Pull out your phone and call 911, stupid. But you didn't call 911 because somebody planned this whole thing. So of course you're not going to call 911.
On TV. I don't see why there'd be a difference here.
Did you watch this happen on TV or were you actually there?
I was actually
This
there.
is a dumb question.
With many thousands of other people, including numerous police officers.
Good morning, Lacey. What's going on? Good morning.
Sorry,
But there was no ambulance. Did you know that there was no ambulance there?
And yes, we're covering the trial today at, I think, 2:30 p.m. So we're going to be in here. We're going to hang out, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and do the trial at 2:30.
I have no idea whether there was an ambulance there or not.
You didn't see one. You didn't see one when you arrived. We saw the police vehicles. You saw the police officer. But did you see an ambulance?
And to the new people, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. To the new people who just came on, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at.
No.
Right.
It's not really up to him.
Supposed to be.
Hey, Blake, did you know that he was dead immediately, like Terrell knew he was dead immediately? Like, did you share the same sentiment?
I did not know.
So as the shot goes out,
I could see that.
Why was Terrell there?
I did not like. I would not have the.
Somebody said, why in the world is Blake in this space anyway? My answer is Turning Point USA is imploding. So they're looking for new ways to stop the implosion. Okay. So Turning Point USA is literally a dumpster fire. So I think they are coming together and they're saying, okay, how can we fix this? Everybody in the world hates us. What can we do? And I think, and it's just my opinion, they're like, you know what? Let's just go in and talk to the people. So I think that's what's actually going on. I might be wrong.
The ability to say whether he'd been like killed instantly or anything like that. I suspected he was wounded very badly because he was hit in the neck. So I remember having the thought as I was kind of still in the area, like, what if he survives but is like paralyzed or something really bad like that?
So there was a whole bunch of team members that weren't.
You don't know where the SUV is, and you don't know who drove Charlie in. I'm kind of worried about that because
it's not his job. Can I ask a question?
Why
please?
would I have to know that?
I mean,
Am I
shouldn't
gonna-
you know who's
Can you
driving?
stop answering for him?
I'm gonna
Charlie?
speak.
You don't need to speak for him, though, right? Let him
I have a
answer his own
question I would like to ask. So everybody, please give me the space to
Okay,
ask.
go ahead.
Blake,
Go ahead.
Okay, visual impulse. So, Terrell is usually not there. He's usually not there, right? And then there was, you got to know who's there. So that's super important. There were hired people. Andrew Karachi was there, hired. He's not usually typically there. So that's where I just wanted to know. There were some new people on the scene, and what about them?
Well, I mean, first of all, to say Terrell is usually not there, I actually don't know the frequency that he was at our events, but that was certainly not the first time he was at an event. Terrell has been with Turning Point and with Charlie for a very long time. I'd say
Someone who worked in the camera crew told me that he doesn't usually go to those.
I mean, again, maybe he doesn't go to all. He probably doesn't go to all of them. But first of all, like, this was the first one of the year. This was going to be our largest tour. This was going to be one of our largest events.
Where was it being broadcast?
Yeah, that specific one. And he's also at all of our big events. Like, Terrell goes to a lot of things. Terrell travels quite often.
Were you live
okay? Someone also wanted to ask about what you were talking about him with Charlie about Israel. What were you prepping about regarding Israel?
I mean, Israel is a big topic if you haven't noticed. So we were prepping.
Yeah, specifically.
You got questions about it.
Were you a part of the group chat that?
Well, yeah, they were asking what specifically.
Were you a part of the group chat where he sent the message that he was leaving the pro-Israel cause 2 days before he was assassinated?
I was not part of that group chat.
Were you aware that Harrison Smith said that someone close to Charlie at TPUSA 3 weeks before that said that Charlie thought if he left the pro-Israel cause that they would kill him?
I certainly did not ever hear anything like that myself. In fact, the only people I heard Charlie would kill him explicitly.
Are you aware of it now? Were you aware of it before I asked you?
I've heard some allegation to that effect, but I have never.
I mean, it was posted publicly 3 weeks before Charlie died. So it doesn't even matter if someone that you know can verify that they said it was true.
How can you verify that
he
what
said
Harrison
it? He
true?
said it. It doesn't matter because of the temporal, the chronological proximity. 3 weeks before he died, we were told by a mutual that if he left the pro-Israel cause, he was going to get killed. 2 days before he left, or 2 days before he was assassinated, he said he was leaving the pro-Israel cause, and then 2 days later, he's dead.
Well,
right? You don't think that's significant, Blake?
Days before he was dead, he also told me that the trannies were going to kill him. So
nobody said that.
What?
No grown man is like, the trannies are going to kill me.
Live streaming? I don't believe so. Maybe we were, but I don't think so.
Does anybody in here believe that Charlie Kirk was sitting around saying, the trannies are trying to kill me? Like, what is he talking about? What does that even mean? Yo, man, I think the trannies are trying to kill me. Like, men don't even talk like that. That just sounds stupid. Like, what the hell? He's just saying dumb shit.
Of course they were. They said it.
We see an HDMI cable going into the LU-300 Israeli unit, which I'm not being anti-Semitic here. I love Jews. I love Torah. I love Mormons too. But my point is I shouldn't have said the Israeli part, but you certainly had the capabilities to go live. You had 2 cellular bonding units on the AV table.
I wasn't debating whether we had the ability to go live. I just am not sure because I don't know that we.
So how do you not know that? Who was watching?
I genuinely don't remember because
How can you not remember? It was the first. It was the first event of the season, man.
If we can't hear both of you talking at the same time, let him finish.
Upload videos of it. We would release the audio of it. Like, we would release it in a million different ways. I just don't recall if it was actually being live streamed, because certainly not all of those were live streamed.
Well, the FBI didn't have it until May and June.
You don't seem to know a lot for you think it's Tyler Robinson. You don't seem to know all the facts. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't know.
What exactly are you upset about? Like, whether I don't know whether we were live streaming or not. That's a complete.
Hang on,
all kinds of things. Yeah.
Time out. You guys, please don't talk over each other. Like, let's
Exactly.
just finish your sentence, and I just don't want anyone to fight. I want to.
And what I try to tell them is that sitting here just going off on the man, disrespecting the man, talking over each other, just makes us as a community look dumb. Like, have a conversation with the man. Everybody is trying to jump in because they think this is their first and last time ever getting an opportunity to ask the question. Just take turns. We're not children.
Hear all of you, right? So let's just try to go there. Okay. Are you guys good?
That's good, Cajun Queen. Thank you.
Okay. Come on, Blake. What you got from Utah?
What do I got?
I'm here. I'm looking for Blakey.
Where is he?
Earlier, you guys were asking about the SD cards, and Blake may be able to give you some clarification on that. Blake,
I have a question about it.
I had heard
So
months ago
go ahead.
that when everything had kind of calmed down, they pulled everybody up into a room, and police started questioning. People started handing over pictures, video, and SD cards, and
No, Charlie never said that. Exactly. Charlie never said their trannies are trying to kill me. He's just making up stupid shit.
things like that.
Who said this? You or Blake?
I just said that earlier. But what I'm telling you, that was told to me by people.
How do
that
you
were there.
know that?
Because I've talked to multiple eyewitnesses that were there.
Well, Blake was there, right?
That's my point. I'm asking Blake.
I didn't have a recording to give them, so I was not involved.
I mean, it sounds like you're giving a version of the story, and then you're asking Blake. So, which is it?
I just sat there and said that I was told this. He can confirm or deny that. Like, why are you such a dick?
Right.
Blake, Neff, give him
Bro,
to respond.
I'm not being a dick. I'm not calling you
are
names.
being
Not
a
talking
dick,
shit.
and like
now
there's no reason
you're
for it.
deflecting.
No, I'm not
Blake-
deflecting. You're just
Blake Neff, hold on, time out. This is my space. Blake Neff, give him a minute. Like, let him respond, and then you can counteract that, okay? I have 14 requests for speakers, and I know there's plenty of people that's pissed. Like, because I just can't have them up. I can't. I want to, but I can't. So let's just not be disrespectful to the other person, right? So please, I'm asking you to be nice.
So, Blake, do you know much about the SD cards that were taken by Terrell Farnsworth?
Not really.
Not really.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
like, what am I supposed to know? I'm not a technical.
That hasn't come up around the coffee pot, like at the office.
What?
Like y'all haven't talked about it at the office.
You guys literally talked about it. You and
Daryl to offer like moral
and
support.
Tucker. Remember Tucker?
Blake,
Yeah,
you're
you talked
echoing.
about it.
I know.
Let the man talk.
You had a conversation with Andrew Colbert and Tucker and you about the SD card, correct?
I don't.
You were sitting there. It's recorded.
Like what?
Do you see how accusatory, whatever you want to call it, they're just making statements instead of asking questions? You did this, you did that. Like, this is kind of like talking to your lady and she thinks you're cheating. This is not a good time to talk to your lady if you just came home and she thinks you were out cheating. This is accusatory. That's it. So this language is very accusatory language and is off-putting. And why in the world would anybody want to stay in here? This shit is just crazy. Have y'all ever got have y'all ever came home and your girl thought you were cheating and she was just yelling at you or whatever, and you can't even get a word in edgewise? That's how this seems. This is very accusatory. It's just stupid.
But was this like our show?
You don't remember Tucker? You're sitting there with Tucker and Andrew Colbert and don't remember having this conversation?
I mean,
You
when did
participated.
the conversation occur? I've had a lot of conversations, and
I've had a lot of conversations too, but I remember it.
You remember all of your conversations ever? Like
I remember
you're
most of them.
Me to know things that you have fixated on.
Okay, so let me ask you this: Do you know that Terrell Farnsworth took SD cards from the cameras at the crime scene?
Yes, I know he took SD cards out of the cameras because people have flipped out about it for a year now.
Okay, and then do you know what happened? So he handed them off to Phillips. Is it Goldsberry? Is that his name? Goldsberry? I got it right? He handed them off to Phillips Goldsberry behind the tent like a drug deal. Do you know why that went down like that?
I don't know, because he wanted Philip to keep it.
So he hands it off to him sideways, like very conspicuously. You don't think that's strange?
No.
Okay. So
I'm actually going to push back on this. Like, you guys ask these bizarre questions, like, why don't I know who the driver of the car is? Why?
I asked you what you knew.
Give an SD card to a different employee of his company. Why?
I have a question that's not bizarre.
I built a foundation and I said, did you know that?
Because no, I don't think it's weird, because since I was there and since I, don't have a lithium deficit, I see that Charlie was.
Do I sound particularly insane to you?
And that the evidence lines up quite well, and the idea that Terrell Farnsworth, a person I have known for years, and his family, the idea that they were involved.
I'm not blaming it for anything. I'm trying to figure out why he did what he did.
Involved in some conspiracy to murder Charlie is completely.
I've never made that claim.
Furthermore, the idea that them taking the SD cards are a key part of any conspiracy is itself really preposterous and doesn't make sense, and nobody has ever been able to describe.
Anybody knows that you don't disturb key evidence at a crime scene. Any retard that
wasn't
has
a crime scene.
A fifth grade level.
Wait, it wasn't a crime scene?
No, it wasn't designated a crime scene until
it wasn't a crime scene. Oh, you didn't know that.
So no crime occurred.
You know who has the expertise to decide whether someone disturbed a crime scene such that it deserves censure? The police. And what have the police not done? They've never charged Terrell Farnsworth with disturbing a crime scene. And as far as I know, they've never fined.
Is it the same FBI institution that was arresting Trump and raiding his house? Are these the same institutions that we're now putting blind trust in, Blake?
I don't know that the Orem Police Department ever raided Donald Trump. So
didn't the FBI handle most of the evidence in this case? We heard that today. You watched the live stream today.
The FBI would have only gotten there a little while after the shooting happened. They wouldn't be involved in immediately securing the crime scene.
They were there that day.
Okay, they were there that day. Well, were they there that minute? Because that's
so you said that you knew Terrell took it. The reason why I asked you that is because I'm trying to figure out, right, why Terrell didn't give them the original SD cards. He turned in a flash drive and then he gave them a Google Drive link. If you SD cards that fit in those cameras are micro SD cards. You know that. I know that. Anybody with a brain knows that. They're not full-size computer flash drives. So he transferred the video content from the SD card to the flash drive, which means that the police, the defense, the prosecution, nobody has the original. That's the problem with him taking the SD cards, right? Is that there needs to be a chain of custody for evidence like that. Those are the closest cameras to Charlie Kirk when he died. They have the best perspective as to what really happened. And instead of them leaving in the hands of the police or the FBI, they walked off in the hands of Charlie Kirk's staff. That's a problem.
No, it's not. Not really, because they turned them in later.
Get off the gas, girl. No, that's not right, man. That's not right, Blake.
Well, okay.
Get off the gas, girl. Like, what the hell is going on? Get off the gas, girl. All right, so let me read the super chats real quick. Shout out to dear Gene. Gary said it was not a crime scene. So, in my opinion, there are two crime scenes and not just one. In my opinion, the truck or the SUV is a crime scene because that's literally where Charlie Kirk died at. And then the other crime scene, of course, is the tent. So in my opinion, there were two crime scenes and neither one of them were taped off.
Okay, Terrell's stated reason for why he did that is because there was a big scene of chaos and mayhem and he didn't want someone to possibly run off with the camera or who knows. run off with the SD card, and so he secured it before they all
This X space was last night around 1 o'clock in the morning.
There was
Why?
7 police
Why?
officers standing around him when he did that. 7.
What?
7.
Okay. Okay, I have a question. I have a question here.
Diligent, if he gave him the SD cards right away.
iota of evidence at any point that the video actually was edited, or explain how he would do that in a plausible.
You cannot because you can't transfer that file from one place to another without losing data.
Has it actually been important that that video, however HD it is, actually is conclusive proof of what Tyler Robinson did? Because we have a bunch of other evidence that that's
Okay. There's no proof what Tyler Robinson did, and we're actually showing everything about Tyler Robinson not doing anything. Like the hearing is going on now, and we now see that Tyler Robinson didn't do anything, and we'll talk about that after this.
There's a problem here.
If there was another explanation other than Tyler Robinson, if there was another explanation other than Tyler Robinson, and it was captured on one of those cameras, and that video footage has been altered, we will never know. And I think that's exactly why, in my opinion, that's exactly why that footage left the scene.
For example, wouldn't we actually be able to detect it, for instance, because there are dozens of other videos of it from different angles,
lower quality phone cameras further away.
If there was an FBI agent right there that Terrell handed it over to it, by your logic, it would be manipulated anyhow because the FBI was in on it, and you can't trust the FBI. So
the
what
FBI,
do you care?
He did not turn it over. He did not.
What do you care
about chain of custody?
About anything?
It's about chain of custody because the metadata would have been recorded when the FBI
the
agent
metadata is
received
still
it.
on the car.
Hey, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
It's a back and forth.
Everybody needs to take a timeout for just a minute. This is ridiculous, right? So we have a few speakers that's up. So Myron is up. We have Blake. We have Muppet. We have Corby. He has a question. So let's just take a breath for a minute, and then we can go back to it. But we're not going to have this fighting, okay? Okay, so who wants to come up? And please, let's not overtalk each other.
Baron has a question whenever you get a chance. I'll put my hand up.
Yeah, so I have 16 requests. It's grown since then. So
I just have some detailed questions if I can ask Blake, if that's all right. Nothing crazy. Who did you fly in with, Blake?
I flew in with Charlie.
With Charlie on Charlie's plane. So at the Salt Lake City interview at Savory Fun, how many security guards did he have with him there?
I don't know.
You couldn't remember? You can't count them up?
I mean, it was a number greater than 1, and I don't know the exact number of people he had at any particular.
Well, just think back. You were there, so
well, okay.
How many security would he have had?
Charlie, the amount of security Charlie would have. I mean, you would have Dan, you would have Brian Harpole, and among other things. Yeah, I just don't remember. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head the exact number.
Yeah, well, hey, he didn't have Brian Harpole with him because Brian was already at UVU. So
wait, hold on. Isn't that what you said in Utah?
At the Savory Fund interview with Andrew Smith before he went to UVU.
And prior, I wasn't at that event. I was in the other SUV.
So
yeah, nobody asked him about the quivering lip. That is hilarious. My lip was Mikey's lip was quivering. But I come in and ask about Mikey and Erica Kirk. Just wait.
Where were you in between time? When you got off the plane, where did you go?
I was in the other SUV.
Did you go straight to UVU?
We had 2 SUVs. I was in the one Charlie wasn't in, and I was somewhere. I don't.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
I actually have no idea where they parked it.
What do you mean you don't know where you were?
I'd never been to Utah before. We had.
So you got off the plane with Charlie. You jumped in the other SUV. Where did you go?
We went somewhere. Why would I?
You went somewhere.
Why would I remember that? Can you consider for just one moment that I did not know that Charlie was going to.
Did you go straight to the UVU event?
Around the Orem, Utah area. We went.
Surely you've been asked these questions by the authorities, right?
No.
Why would I be asked the questions like that by the authorities?
Because you're a key witness to a murder.
No, I'm not. I'm one
Yo.
of
Surely you can hang on. Surely you can remember what you did that morning.
I'm a key witness to Charlie's life. I'm not a particularly important witness to the murder.
So you got off the plane, you got
How
in
are
the
you not? There a
SUV.
murder
Where
happened
did
there
you
and it's a
go?
crime scene.
Hang on, let me finish the question. Where did you go?
What do you mean? Where did I go?
You got off the
Did
plane,
you
you
go
got
to
in the
a hotel?
SUV.
Did you go to a restaurant? Did you
Didn't
go to the
a
strip
hotel.
club? Where did you go?
We drove somewhere, and because I wasn't going to that event, we just like parked and we marked time until.
Hey, good morning. I see you in the chat. Good morning.
The actual Utah Valley event, and then we
You
drove.
realize you're making yourself look really bad right now by not answering that question. But just go ahead, continue.
Stop being so accusatory, y'all. Just have a conversation with the man.
Why is that making me look really bad? Like what? Do you want to check?
So when did you meet up? Hang on. Let me finish it. Let me finish it. So when did you meet up with Charlie to follow him to UVU?
I actually don't believe I ever did meet up with Charlie. I think he went to that event.
You followed him in.
I thought
you followed him into UVU.
But in the event, I believe we drove there, and I was not directly outside that event. So the memory I have is us driving to the event, and then I was talking on the phone with.
You were in the SUV right behind Charlie, so you must have met up with him to travel there together.
When did you start following Charlie in your ride?
I don't.
Yeah.
Like again, you like ask these like these are incredibly important questions, and the truth
They
is
are very important questions for details of the timeline of events for that morning.
Because it is an incredibly important question. That's
why
you're not answering it.
None of presented a single reason why this would be important.
I can tell you
because
exactly
it fills
where
in
I
the
was.
timeline of events.
I have filled in the timeline to the best of my ability. I went with Charlie to Utah.
No, you haven't.
I got in a car while Charlie did his speech at some event that I wasn't involved in.
So who was in your car?
Utah Valley.
Philip.
And we drove to Utah. While we drove to Utah Valley, as I was explaining, since I wasn't in the same car as Charlie, I was on the phone texting with him various ideas on how to, because we knew we had some inkling of what the early questions were going to be, because like people would get in line for all the.
Yep. So you and Philip do his questions and answers, and yep.
If Turning Point USA was smart, which they aren't, they're a bunch of idiots, they would bring in a very young, attractive woman and just talk about how Turning Point USA is the greatest and everybody's innocent, and Tyler Robinson did it with her titties out and just looking amazingly beautiful or whatever. That would literally slowly cause the men, not us, but just overall the public, to start ignoring all of the facts and saying, you know what, maybe Turning Point USA isn't as bad. But they're so dumb where they don't even know how to operate properly. That's literally all they have to do. A fine ass white woman and a fine ass black woman just be the spokesperson for Turning Point USA, and a lot of this would be over, because we men are stupid, and we're just going to see some titties and a fat ass, and we're going to be like, wow. And we're going to literally love watching them talk, and their titties just jiggling while they're talking. And then next thing you know, we all will just let the whole thing go, and we all will start liking Turning Point USA simply because these fine ass women are speaking for them. And they don't even have to be smart. All they have to do is just say, well, I just think Turning Point USA is this. And I don't know. I'm just a girl. Just do this. I'm just a girl stuff, and titties just jiggling around or whatever. And we would just ignore everything. That would literally fix this whole problem. But they're stupid. So they're too dumb to do this.
That's fine. Who is it? Did you have a security guy in your car?
Excuse me. The thing we were talking about as we were driving there was I was texting with him about arguments in favor of monogamy and Christian monogamy and stuff. He was asking for guidelines why that was awesome.
Likely questions that Mormons are going to ask. Yeah, we get that. That's fine. Who else was in your car?
Shauna said, we're going to forget about an assassination because of boobs and butt. I won't, but the majority of the population will. So the answer is yes. I wouldn't, Baron wouldn't, Danks wouldn't, Jesse on Fire wouldn't, but everybody else would.
Do you have a security guy with you?
I don't remember the specific people in my car. I believe I.
Ah, come on, Blake.
Why would I remember all of these things?
It's pretty easy. It was just you and Danny Phillip.
That might be who it was. Yeah,
You could remember that.
Did Charlie go inside anywhere? Like when he got to UVU, do you know? Did he go in any buildings, any restrooms, anything like that?
I don't know because I wasn't with him when he arrived. I believe I arrived ahead of him, if I remember right.
If you were in the SUV behind him, how could you arrive ahead of him?
I don't remember
because he did a meet and greet.
Going anywhere. My memory is him arriving. We would arrive behind the scene where the tent was, and then Charlie walked in, and everyone was recording it. He was grabbing the hats and he was throwing them out. It was a big crowd. I remember
So were you with Brian Simowitz that morning?
I remember turning to someone on our team and going, remember when this was just 20 people? And she goes, I was here when it was just 20 people. I remember that line.
Yeah, somebody just said they have no idea of how good looking women look because they're all gay. That actually may make a lot of sense. So they can't find a fine woman with a nice body because they're all gay.
I remember the crowd being really hyped,
Right.
and then he sits down and he starts taking questions.
So then he didn't go anywhere. So this morning during the trial, and I know that you guys watched the stream because you.
I'm yawning because of this live. I mean, because of this, I was up till like 2:30 in the morning in this space. So yes, I am yawning, but it's because of this space. I was in this space till like 2:30 in the morning. So yes, I'm tired. I just got up. I'm still sleepy. I was on the live stream with the guys for 9 hours. I did my own live stream 2 hours after that, and then I got into this Twitter space until like 2:30 in the morning. I'm tired. So yes. Yes, I'm yawning.
You broadcasted it on Charlie's page, which is a little morbid, but whatever. There was a moment, and the defense attorney failed to follow up on it, where the officer said that.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys appreciating me because 9 hours and then 2 hours of my own live stream and then 3 hours in here. So it was a lot of work. I didn't get nothing else done yesterday.
Said that Tyler Robinson met with a TPUSA representative at 10:30 a.m. the morning of September the 10th. Do you have any idea who that TPUSA representative is that the leading officer described this morning?
Thank you, Kathy.
Morning.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
This morning, the leading officer on the case.
I left Matt for you. Wait. Yo, that is hilarious. You left Matt for me. That's hilarious. Shout out to Trigger Smart.
Right? Of the Utah SBI, right? he was giving the timeline of events. And during that timeline of events, the officer said that Tyler Robinson in his shorts, the first time he went there around 10 a.m. in the morning, he climbed through the stairwell wearing his shorts. He didn't have the pants and the limp and all of that. And after he left the parking lot structure, he met with, and this is his words, okay, met with TPUSA representatives. Do you know who they are? Tyler Robinson on September the 10th?
And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you because you guys would just harass that person. And I know that person didn't do anything.
Oh, that's the same way that we would harass somebody who took an SD card from a murder scene?
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
I have never harassed that guy.
You've harassed.
And I've known for months.
Well, I know who did nothing wrong and have absolutely no reason to suspect them because you people
are you responsible for what other people do or say? We're not the left, are we, Blake?
Against a case that
words are not violence, Blake.
I have a question. I would like to ask.
Somebody said, what are my thoughts? What are my thoughts on what? And can you put it in a super chat so I won't not see your question? So apparently somebody asked me a question in the chat and I didn't see it. So can you put it in the super chat and I'll answer your question. Somebody asked me, what are my thoughts? Put it in the super chat so I can see what your question was, and I'll answer it.
What Charlie did is he taught people. He taught people to question the government when something doesn't make sense. You should ask questions and you should question things. And what this is about, what this entire case is about, these two different sides who are kind of fighting each other, is we look at the evidence. We don't have access to the evidence. We're not on the ground with Charlie. We didn't know him. We weren't there. But what we see doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right. And Charlie told us if that's the case, we should ask questions, look for answers, investigate for ourselves, and not trust the government.
Quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
If you had one wish involving us, what would it be?
That we got along better.
Okay.
The day that you told me, like, I was so happy for you, my mindset toward you completely changed. I think after you had her, you realized, like, how hard it is to be a mom. And, like, when you look back at things that maybe, like, made you mad at me, you realize, like, okay, well, that is hard.
Just bought this mother-daughter card game because I came to the realization that my issues with my mom are not resolved, so I decided to do something about it. Just played this card game with my mom and we both literally broke down crying. Here's the card game right here. Buy it. Every woman needs this. You won't regret it.
Who has bought their mother-daughter card games, and have y'all played them with your mother or your daughters, and did you have fun? Let me know about your experience with your mother-daughter card game in real time, and let everybody know how your experience was. And for those of you who have not gotten your card game, make sure to click the link under this video, or the link is pinned at the top of the chat, and get your mother-daughter card game. There are 2 decks in this card game. That's why this card game is so thick. There's 2 decks in this card game. One for the mother to ask the daughter questions, and then for the daughter to ask the mother questions, because that's the only way we're ever going to be able to get through to the other person, is each person have their own questions. All right, so let's go.
The olive branch I would like to extend to you is try to empathize with that. That's what we're about. It doesn't make sense to us. We don't feel like we have enough information to understand this case the way you do that might help you reach the conclusion you made.
The 2020 election, every institutional authority has betrayed us for a long time, right? And we all watched this happen. This didn't just affect you guys. I know that it affected the people closest to Charlie the most, but my kid, right, my teenage daughter, watched him being shot on TikTok when she tried to avoid it over and over and over. The entire country was traumatized by that event.
Wait, first of all, that's your fault and not Blake Neff's fault. So your job as a father is to keep her off TikTok, depending on how old she is. But it sounds like she's young. So if your daughter is watching certain things on TikTok, depending on her age, you got to be like, hey, like, get off TikTok or something. Like, you're the father. Blake Neff is not her father.
Everybody cares, right? And the reason why you guys are taking so much heat, because it seems like you are a lot less curious about flipping over every stone possible.
Can he respond to that before we go on the attack, please?
Somebody said, do not yawn again. I'm tired. Like, just listen. Stop worrying about what I'm doing. I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. And the day is going to be another full day of stuff. I'm tired.
I actually, at what point, what is even the question at this point?
The question is, can you empathize with that?
I mean, what I would say is I can understand a generalized attitude of skepticism, but what I've always warned people, I warned Charlie about this because Charlie was more, he was more open to, let's just say, conspiracy.
Somebody said, when are my questions coming? I'm somewhere in this. I'm in a room, but I'm just patiently just listening, because I'm not the type of person who's just going to come in there like everybody else. Hey, I'm not doing all that. So I'm just chilling, waiting my turn, and just listening and observing. So, but I'm about to show up in a second. I'm in the room at this point.
Than I was. We would argue about the Kennedy case. We would argue about a lot of other stuff. And what I've always warned people is you cannot allow a attitude of skepticism to turn into a generalized attitude of I'm going to dismiss everything. I'm going to lash out and attack people. I'm going to believe believe narratives that are frankly manifestly insane.
Are you qualified to represent Charlie on his show when he's dead?
Whether I'm qualified or not, unfortunately, I believe a transgender lunatic murdered Charlie, and as a result,
we can't even see him on on the roof.
So if he got murdered by a transgender lunatic, that allows you to speak in his name after he's dead?
I don't think I've ever claimed to just speak in his name. I'm doing my best to carry on his legacy on the show that he created with the people.
Well, I watched his parents walk in, and I looked up and it said Charlie Kirk is hosting. I'm sorry, that is really sickening. There's never been a thing in history where somebody has literally, from their own account, covered their own murder proceedings.
Been a case where a prominent social media influencer was gruesomely murdered by someone who hated them in an attempt.
He was assassinated.
Exactly. That's why we're thinking it's a big deal. But you guys said it wasn't even a crime scene. You said it.
And we believe, and Erica, his widow, believes that it would be a very unfortunate thing to just have the platform that he worked so hard to build, the message he worked so hard to build.
Think about this. They took his life, and then they took his life. Think about that. They took his life, which is he's dead, and then they took his life, as in they became CEO of his company and took over his damn podcast. I just want y'all to think about that just for a second. They took his life, then took his life. It's the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in my life. You kill somebody, not saying Erica killed somebody, I'm not saying Blake killed somebody, but you unalive a person, and then you literally become the CEO of the person that you unalived, and you become the podcaster of the person that you unalived. It's just crazy. Like, imagine if somebody assassinated me and now they're in front of you, and it's a channel that's still Mr. Lego. They don't even change the name. It's just dumb. It's absolutely disgusting. These people are deplorable human beings.
Be immediately snuffed out because a left-wing radical murdered him. And so for now, we have continued to use that platform.
Hang on. We're pulling you right up on that because we're innocent until proven guilty, bro.
As long as Erica wishes us to do so. And
do you believe?
Okay, well, why did you have to AI the video? Why did you have to AI it?
It's a good question.
We didn't AI the video.
I don't know why you AI the video.
Alter the video?
We did not AI or alter the video. The video was unaltered.
AI Charlie, where he says, "I appoint my wife."
That is not an AI video.
So real quick, you know what, Blake? Despite the fact that I disagree with a lot of what you're saying, I do appreciate that you're willing to take these questions like this. I have not seen many people from TPUSA willing to face the gauntlet, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to you. If it sounds like I am, it's just because I am highly skeptical, because we have been jaded and fucked over by the government and the authorities for a very long time, right?
Well, I could reply to that for a bit. What I would say, if someone actually, I would love it if people really just did approach us and say, I don't fully understand these things. I would like some of these things explained more. I would be a lot more charitable. But what I have
Can we do a town hall?
Excuse me, I'm still speaking. What I have consistently seen for the past 10 months is I have seen people be extremely nasty. I have seen them bully, harass, intimidate, and be wantonly cruel towards people who were around Charlie, whom, even if they're asking questions, they absolutely have no evidence, let alone proof, that these people were involved in Charlie's death. And yet they act in a very malicious and nasty way. And I've seen that happen over and over.
Some of them do, but I was
a major role in me taking an increasingly jaundiced attitude towards these people, because in truth, I believe that many of them don't care that much about the truth. I think they enjoy finding an excuse to attack other people.
I didn't. Tyler Boyer used to follow me. I've met him, right? And I was legitimately, softly asking questions, and I was responded to with vitriol, right? Because people were grieving, they were close, they were dealing, and like every time, right, for months and months and months, it kept being, well, we can't ask questions right now because it's too close, right? It's too soon. And then it got nasty. And I think, so the nastiness, I think, has been both ways. You guys started calling people conspiracy theorists for asking legitimate questions on Charlie's own show within weeks.
Yep. That's a really good point. That is a great point. Gary said, I read that already. Shout out to Upward BM. Thank you for yesterday and today. You were killing them with the super chats. I appreciate you for your hard work and being genuine. I am not rich. Upward BM, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I understand. Shout out to Custodian 423. Ask who Farnsworth was texting when he was on. I asked about Farnsworth, I believe. I think I did. I'm coming up in a second.
Of the assassination, right? So TPUSA is not without guilt here.
Can I ask one really specific question, Blake? There's a text exchange between Phil Lyman and a couple of other people, and he specifically states in that Tyler Boyer threatened him back in December, and he mentions you in the text exchange. Apparently, you contacted him after that.
Forgotten about it, so I don't know off the top of my head what you're referring to.
Blake, do you know Victor Mark?
Did you?
Hang on, can I just clarify?
Go ahead.
It was when Phil Lyman was in DC. Sarah Rogers is involved, and it specifically states that Tyler Boyer contacted Phil Lyman in December and threatened him. And then a day or two later, you joined into that same conversation, and there's no context. We don't know what the threat is. We don't know what the context of the conversation is. Can you clear that up?
I don't have any real memory of this, and I'd probably have
It'll be in your phone. You had text messages with Phil Lyman or phone calls with Phil Lyman. It'll be in your phone.
Maybe you can come back to it, Blake. Do you remember?
I don't have it on a text exchange.
Do you remember when you left like Orem or the Orem area that night? Did you leave on the 10th, like the evening of the 10th?
No, we left the following day.
And did you, like, how did you get back to Phoenix?
I went back on a jet that was